Hi, everybody. Good morning. All right, guys, this is part 3 of cheap or affordable. Today, we're going to be looking at this 7.25 inch Tonto fixed blade by Ozark Trail. So stay tuned. Here we go, guys. This is it. So this is, did I tell you right? Yeah, 7.25 inch, 4.25 inch blade, full tang, sheath included, and it has that same rubberized grip. And it is still a mystery steel, but it's part of those $5 knives. All right, take a look at it real quick. We get some red painted, they may be aluminum too, screws here, star bit, so you can take these off if you want to. Pretty thin stock. My lanyard hole. Grip on this one is pretty comfortable. I actually get all 4 fingers on that one. Have a small sharpening tool there. And of course, it's a Tonto style blade. All right, now with this one, right out of the package, it did not come that sharp. So we're going to get to our first test here. We're going to try to make a feather stick and see how she performs. I'm going to give it a good chance. I got a nice sharp peak here, so I'm going to try to get my feathers off that. Now it should help it. Still having a little bit of trouble because I'm having to push hard enough where it could rip my feathers right off of it. So I got to be a little extra careful. I did get some pretty decent ones there. I'll try to show you how not sharp this is. So yeah, not sharp. All right, we're going to move right to the old ugly stick here. And we're just start gouging some off her. Now I had to put a bit of force on that to get that to go all the way through. Now if I don't go quite as deep, it's not super bad. I can actually get that to cut off there. That jimping right there is a little. It's weird because it's nowhere near the sharpest jimping, but maybe because it's so wide, it's a bit uncomfortable if you're putting any pressure on that. I'm thinking maybe because it's, there's so much gap between each tooth, maybe why it's kind of got that where it's feeling like it's gouging. So we got a little darker colored in there. We got more pine resin in there, and that's really, oh yeah, that's struggling to, yep. So we get up here in the white part here where we don't got hardly any resin in there. It's doing a lot better. But yeah, not good score so far. Not gonna lie to you, I'm not looking forward to this test. So we're going to try to cut through. Here we go. Righty then. Yeah, that was pretty ugly. But we'll get the camera down here on the stump. And we'll get out here towards closer to this front end here where the Tonto point starts. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. All right, one more time. We'll get further back here. See how that does. I got a feeling not so good, but we'll see. All right, now pretty much had to saw that in half, but there you go. All right, I almost don't think there's really any point in doing this with the cardboard, but you know, it's kind of part of what I normally do, so here we go. Oh boy. The resistance on that was pretty high, guys. Yeah. All right, we'll try the little cuts. Nothing. Yeah, it's absolutely just ripping and tearing. Ooh, yeah. Pretty ugly. But you know, hey, it's dull. I mean, we'll even try this part here, see if that does any better. A little bit, not a whole lot. Still kind of ugly. But you know, I honestly, that's what I expected. So let's move on to taking this thing and batting it through a little bit of wood. This is what we're going to use. This is a piece from the other test, but that's still pretty decently thick. So we're going to set that down there. And I think we'll just use the old ugly stick for a batting. We're going to go dead center here. I'll triangle that down so you can see where I got my knife. So that's roughly dead center. This, I think it should actually do decently well. Yeah, that's what I figured. It shouldn't have had a whole lot of trouble with that. That was a reasonably sized piece of wood for it. All right, and I realized I didn't try to carve any wood with this part of the Tonto, so I'll go ahead and see if I can do that for you guys. It's actually not doing super bad. Yeah, it's not like the worst by any means. Oop, I lost all the little pieces, but that's all right. You get the idea. Okay, well, what do I think? Well, I got to admit that this one, though I liked the design, and it's a little bit heavier than the first fixed blade I reviewed there too. I think this one just needs some TLC on getting a good edge on it. And I think it would perform quite a bit better. Now, there's always a chance that the tempering in this steel is not nowhere near as good as it should be. I mean, that happens, especially with these very, very cheap knives, whether they're, I guess, when you get a really cheap knife and they actually did a good job on the tempering, it turns automatically into an affordable knife. But, now, like I said, these are handy to have for what I call a junk knife. Like I'm going to be cutting into sacks of concrete, quickcrete. I'm doing landscaping. You know, maybe I'm cutting into big sacks of, soil of some kind, whatever have you. It's like, I don't need a razor blade for the job, and I could get nicks and dings in the blade. So I have a $5 option. This one also comes with that same cheap plastic sheath. Better than nothing, and better than them paper thin nylon deals that that this thing could probably eventually just accidentally poke a hole through and come clear out of while you're just walking around. So again, a good tackle block knife too. If you like, I'll tell you what, they drop pretty good too. But yeah, like if you're a fisherman, this is something pretty decent. Just throw it in tackle box. I'd recommend sharpening it first. That way you're cutting line and whatnot with it. You don't have to struggle with cutting your fishing line. But other than it coming dull, that's the only real complaint I got about it. The package itself, its size, shape, weight, pretty good for a nice small fixed blade. I think with some ingenuity too, I would like to have a better sheath, but because I do not like having where the clip stops. All of this is sticking up above your belt. So odds are, and the way the human body's made, your hips, roughly your hip area, is coming into contact through here somewhere, and it's slightly rounded, and it's going to naturally push this handle into your side. So, that's why I prefer it being much higher up on the knife. So that way it don't got like a whole bunch of handle wanting to flop into my side. But, for the price, what do you do here? But with that, guys, I'm going to close out the video. Appreciate you watching. We got one more knife left to do. And after that, we'll probably that last video at the end of it, I'll tell you which one's my top pick out of all the four I got. So appreciate y'all watching. I'll see y'all in their video.